Guys, this is the Grant Gripper, and I know I'm late to the party on getting to see one. It's been here for a while, and I just have not gotten around to doing anything about it because I knew it was a one-and-done video because I did not do any cutting or carrying with this. So we're going to take a look at it from above. I'm going to tell you the things that I've noticed just having it here, not really getting to use it much because it has to go back mint. So let's turn this around and look at it from above in just a second. Well, guys, we finally are getting around to looking at the Grant Gripper. Now, I'm not going to do a lot on this. I will put up a spec sheet over here. This is simply just going to be a walk and talk around the knife. It has been in and out of pocket a few times. It has not been used because this is not my knife. This came from Alice over at Alicord Paracord. You can find her on Instagram. She does a lot of beads and things like that, paracord style. But this thing came... I really wish I had not missed out on this knife because this thing is great. So first things first, like I said, you've already seen the spec sheet. Let's get some size comparisons out of the way because this thing is pretty large. It's not small at all. So let's go ahead. Our first knife is going to be my Microtech DOC, which is a big beast of a knife. So you can see size comparison. It's not a small knife. So it really did surprise me. I didn't think it was going to be that big. So the next knife is going to be the Reat Horizon D, another big knife, just shy of 9 inches on this, as you can see on the mat, just shy of 9 inches. So you can see for size comparison, it is not a small knife. And as always, our final knife for comparison is going to be the Chris Reeves Sebenza, a knife most people should have a good knowledge of the size of. It's been around for so long that you've just pretty much been able to see it compared to knives that you do know if you haven't gotten a handle on. As you can see, a little bit bigger than the Chris Reeves Sebenza. So not a small knife at all. It has a lot going for it besides just the way it looks. So let's get this out of the way and talk about the Grant Gripper. So, like I said, I did not use this knife for much of anything except just to play around with, flip it, get a good feel for it. It's been in and out of pocket a few times. It is extremely comfortable. For as aggressive as this looks, all of this has been chamfered really well. So the first and foremost thing I want to say is anybody that wants to know about edge geometry on a knife, this is amazingly done. This thing, if you were to cut with this, I 100% guarantee you're going to have zero problems. Deep hollow grind on this that comes down to a very nice, very well done edge. It is screaming sharp. This thing is this would be a nightmare. It'd be a nightmare for cardboard. This is what cardboard boxes dread. You got this big fuller that comes down on this nice Wharncliffe hollow ground blade, comes down super sharp. You got a finger aperture, and like I said, big full 4 fingers on this, and I can get all the way up in that choil if I want to. Jimping, good solid jimping that goes all the way the length of the spine, which I like. Jimping on the back spacer is not as aggressive. It's still there though, and it's still present, and it still is not as soft as other companies, but it's in a place where it might be uncomfortable, but they did a really good job of getting that to where you've got a nice smooth handle. The corners of these have all been chamfered, like I said, so there's no hot spots on this to speak of, and it is just gorgeous. So like I was saying, you have a 3.5 inch M390 blade that's done with a black PVD. You can see they did a really good job with the PVD, and you get some contrast. So this is more of a matte, and then the edges of your scales are more polished. So you get a little bit of two-tone. You've got this really well done frag pattern on this, titanium pivot collar on both sides that has been anodized purple. This can be done as a front flipper or back flipper, or the reverse flick. Now, I'm sure this will break in over time. This is basically a brand new knife. The reason I didn't do a lot with this is because Alice is debating they're probably going to sell this knife. So if you're interested in this, considering these are sold out, let me know. The pocket clip on this is not horrible. It's got really good retention. It's not too hard in and out of pocket. And the Jason Grant did a really good job of getting that placed so it's not sitting on a sharp spot per se. So even though it looks really aggressive, it's not like it's going to tear up your pockets. Deep, deep hollow on this. Like I said, very aggressive in the cut. Full 4 fingers on this, so it's really comfortable in hand. Like I said, I really love this knife. I wish I had gotten in on one. Aesthetically, it's really good. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I love having a fuller that runs the full length of the blade. You can, if I can get on it, you can fit reverse flick off of the fuller or off of the aperture. Now the aperture on it is not sharp at all. So if you're a girl, I do know that some of my female viewers have commented that sometimes the knives I recommend, this will scratch up their nails. This does not. Nice and softened. Everything on this has been nice and softened and chamfered. Even your lock bar cutout, very well softened and chamfered around here, so there's no hot spots there. I can honestly say I don't have much negative to say about this knife. So we're going to look at the flip side of this. There are a couple small things that I don't like, but like I said, they're really, really very minor. So let's go ahead. This isn't going to be a real long video because this is just a basic, how did it feel in hand? I really did not cut anything with this. I opened like 2 envelopes because like I said, I wanted to leave this mint for Alice because she is debating about selling this. So let's go ahead and we will look at the flip side of this and look at the negative things. So to tell you the truth, there's not much negative. I do have to say, I wish the action was a little bit smoother and a little bit more broke in. There weren't a lot of these made. I mean, the action is good, but it just sounds a little gritty. Now, can you hear it? I imagine that over a little bit of time, that detent track will break in and smooth up. It's probably just a little bit of finish on the blade. A lot of knives are like that. I'm not a big fan of this back flipper on any knife. It's not just this one. The EMP Nimble had one that was like this. I just don't find that flipper to be really something that I like. I do have to say it's cool that it just completely disappears into the scale. So that kind of brings us to the next one, is the scale. While this is a big knife and I can get full 4 fingers on this, as you can see, it has a big forward choil that is great if you can get up on it, but there's such a gap here. There's been a handful of knives recently. That is a lot of wasted space right there. It just feels like you're so far apart that you lose whatever comfort and control you would get on some other knives. Let me demonstrate. On this knife, you don't have that much space. See how tight my fingers are? When you get up on that, it feels like you have more control. On this, it actually feels like you have more control back here. Now, you can get up on it, which is great. You can get your finger in there, but it still feels like you're really spread there. I just don't find that comfortable in hand for me. It might not be an issue for others, but it does kind of bother me a little bit. And then the final thing that I have to say, it is a little bit aggressive here. Like, that's not going to be for everyone. I'm not such a big fan of the frag pattern. They did a really good job on that. So this is 100% just an aesthetic thing for me. But the thing about it, with it having this aggressive frag pattern, is that these cutouts for the lock bar to allow you to put the lock bar tension on it, actually catches on pockets a little bit. It's not horrible, but it's not so much out of pocket, but in pocket. If you've got a pair of pants that the pocket is a little tight, the seam of that pocket wants to drop in here. And because the pocket clip is close to it, it kind of allows a little bit of extra. It wasn't horrible the few times that I did carry it, but I did definitely notice it. So that might be something that you want to think about. I personally prefer knives that the lock bar cutout is either this style and shape where they've done a really good job chamfering it, or on the inside, like your Sabenza, because then there is nothing for your material to catch on your pants material. I do understand that that's an additional maneuver in the machining, but it is a very attractive knife in this black on black. So if you can find one of these on the secondary market, I don't know what they're going for, but I think it would be worth it. If I had this knife and I owned this knife, I would absolutely carry it. Like I said, this would be a beast at cutting down cardboard. This thing is this thing, I think, would give that ZDP 189 slayback a run for its money when you look at it, because of the deep hollow on it and things. Now, I did not do any heavy cutting or cardboard cutting, just a disclaimer. So I don't know how much it would bind up in that deep hollow, because that is a really, let's zoom in on it. That is a really deep hollow on that comes down to a really acute edge. So yeah, I like this a lot. I do like this a lot. I don't think it would be something I would purchase now, but had I gotten in on it, I think I would have been happy with my purchase. So guys, that's about all I've got on it. It is a really good knife. I will put Alice's Instagram information up so that you can see it in the description below. In case she is going to sell this, you can reach out to her. So guys, that's about all I've got on this one. Let's turn it around, do some final thoughts. So, like I said, guys, I didn't get to do a lot with this. I apologize. It's not typically the in-depth, how did it cut, things like that video. But like I said, it's not mine. And every once in a while, a knife comes in that I just can't do all the things I want to do with. It's not a surprise. It happens from time to time. I will try to reach out to Jason Grant over at Brass Brigade. If you're looking for him, it's Brass Brigade on Instagram. You can probably find him there. You can also find these knives online. I don't see these as being available right now, but I'll reach out to him, see if I can get one of the prototypes and run it through its actual paces, and we'll see. So, like I said, just a quick overview, just a quick walk and talk, like looking at a car at a dealership without taking it for a test drive. So, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. Please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe. Drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got it set for all, and make sure you've got notifications turned on your device. If you want to support the channel financially, there are a ton of affiliate links down below anything you purchase. Doesn't cost you anything at checkout, but it directly supports the channel. Some of them have a discount. Dahlstrom, 10% off your overall order. Dahlstrom knives. Coffee brand coffee, the coffee I'm currently drinking, the French toast, I think is one of my favorite coffees ever. And I'm typically not a fan of flavored coffees, but my link will save you 5%, or you can just use the coupon code CrazySharp, all caps, all one word, CrazySharp at checkout at Coffee Brand Coffee. Gives you the same discount. Atlas VPN is currently offering 80% off through the holidays for a 2-year subscription, which is $44 for a 2-year subscription. It's the VPN that I use here at the house. Other ways you can do it, I have got a merchandise store in the description below. Anything you purchase, I can save you 10% there as well on my merchandise or other creators' merchandise. Coupon code is CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp. Saves you 10% at checkout. And I have a tier-based membership down below that gets you in on a bunch of different benefits. Everyone that's a member has access to the Gilded server. If you're a baseline and premium tier member, I have got exclusive content on YouTube for them, and I have got a giveaway that I do almost monthly on the Gilded server. If you're a premium tier, you have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube that you can only get if you're a premium tier member. Guys, that's it. I love you all. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.